Yes, we welcome back to another stream on the channel. This is your Aston Villa versus Manchester United preview, and we're going to discuss tomorrow's game. Huge game, but I'm not joined by myself. I do have people joining me, and let's start adding them. First one is co-host Hardeep. How you doing, Hardeep?
Yes, that's always pleasure to be back on, especially after yesterday. What stream was?
Big up Hardeep. And Frederick, how you doing, Frederick?
Fine, thanks. How about yourself?
Yeah, not bad, man. We just need the 3 points tomorrow. That's it. And then also Asad, how you doing, Asad?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Thanks for having me. It's been a long time.
Yeah, 100%. Big up. But yeah, man, guys, tomorrow, big game, man. I'm 50-50, man. We can definitely win, but obviously the manager bounce with Aston Villa with Emery. But let's get to Hardeep first, man. Hardeep, how are you feeling for tomorrow? Are you confident of United getting the 3 points?
You know, I'm actually quietly confident, and I'm really optimistic that we'll get the win. I mean, even though Aston Villa have actually employed Unai Emery, who's a great tactician, and also he's really versatile in how he actually conducts himself. And if you look at Villa right now, Villa are definitely on the slump. They're definitely nearing towards the relegation zone, and we all know, Van, we're on a trajectory. So for us, if we can beat Villa, it'll be really important. However, there's always a risk with a new manager bounce. Even logically, so Thomas Tuchel in my mouth. 2 recent decisions ago at Chelsea. That manager bounce could be really close. If they can beat us, I think that gives them that positive. We need to win. There's no excuse. They're in a negative situation.
100%. Football Ferreira says, what a few games we already had. Wow, City last minute, Leeds come back, Brighton scoring have 3 goals, Forest 2-2. 100%, man, 100%. Listen, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy day, man. It's been a crazy day. But Frederick, man, how are you feeling for tomorrow's game? Are you confident that United can get the 3 points against Villa?
With United these days, I'm never confident. I do hope and I do believe we can do the win. It will be interesting to see us without Bruno, who is out with suspension. How will we play? Will we move Eriksen up? Will we play Donny there? I do think we played Donny there against Real Sociedad to see how he did the role, and like all of us who watched the game, he wasn't that good, so I don't think he will start. Might come in as a sub, so probably we'll see Casemiro and Fred, and it will be an interesting one. And of course, as mentioned, Aston Villa got a new coach, so we don't really know what to expect from them, but looking forward to United to play again, and I do think both teams will score, so hopefully we'll get 2-1 win.
Yeah, I do hope that. So what about you? How are you feeling for tomorrow's game? Obviously, the manager bounce with Emery coming back. Are you confident?
Look, it's definitely an interesting game because it's one of the first few games where a lot of focus is on the Villa manager coming back, Emery back into the Prem. I know some people are looking forward to with his dialogues and stuff. So, but we've got to get the job done regardless of whatever the people want to focus on. We've had a few scrappy games here and there with Everton away. Away record's been pretty interesting this season, as we've seen at City as well. So, look, I have to concur with what the other guys have said. We definitely need to win this game. It's definitely a bit of a seesaw battle at the front. I think we're 5th at the moment, so we really need the points.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, 3 points is actually vital, and as Hardy did mention, it's going to be interesting to see. Frederick mentioned it's going to be interesting to see without Bruno Fernandes how we play without him. For me, as I said, I've told on this show many times, I do think it will be Donny as a number 10, and then Eriksen and Casemiro together. So for me, it depends on who Ten Hag plays, and I don't think we've got any injury updates so far regarding with Anthony Martial and Sancho. So for me, listen, I'm still waiting on that. Hopefully it's positive, but if they're not available for tomorrow, then I'll still start Garnacho for me. But listen, it's up to Ten Hag at the end of the day. But the lineups, let's quickly give our lineup. So I'll start. Obviously, goalkeeper. Everyone's going to say David here because the Bravka is only here for the wage, the paycheck. Tom Heaton's there for, obviously, to hand out the cones, the bibs and training. So I don't know what Tom Heaton does. The back four, here we go, Traps is here. Take that brother picture off, man, with Ronaldo and Anthony, man. Take it off. How you doing, Traps? You right?
You're right, yeah.
I'm alright. Yeah, we're just giving our lineup now. I'll come to you for the foot. So line, yeah, as I said, back four. For me, I don't know, man, because we need to give Malacia a chance because we didn't start in the Europa League game.
That's giving us nothing, man.
What was that?
Sorry, what?
No, what did you say? Because I said Malacia. We need some Malacia. Now, in my opinion, I know Luke Shaw's been playing well, but
Nothing, man.
Hmm?
Malacia's not good enough, mate.
Fuck. I mean, Ten Hag wants to know. Ten Hag, he wants to know. Luke Shaw, he's been quite inconsistent though.
Sorry, what?
You know what I said though? Traps, come on. Honestly, with Luke Shaw, he's been like for about 8 years. He's so hit and miss. Why are we supposed to rely on him?
He's so hit and miss, bruv. You so this is. Listen, anyways, I can't get into. I'm not gonna argue with you today, yeah. But Malacia does not start over Luke Shaw right now. There's no way in hell that Malacia starts over Luke Shaw. It's impossible.
yeah. Either way, centre backs it should be clear. Lindelof and Martinez for me, and then right back obviously Dalot comes in. But yeah, for me, it's a disgrace that we don't have a backup option because we're just Dalot's gonna keep getting tired and tired. So for me, there's no other option to play Dalot. I feel bad for him because it's not his fault that the board didn't get a backup for him. And then midfield, it should be Casemiro and Eriksen. Or Ten Hag could go with Casemiro and Fred and then Eriksen as number 10. I don't mind. For me, I don't mind, but maybe Donny needs to get a chance again. So yeah, then obviously the front three should be if Martial's fit, then he starts. And then Rashford, Martial, probably Anthony or Garnacho if Anthony's still injured. But yeah, man, Traps, your thoughts for tomorrow's game? Are you confident that United can get the 3 points?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Man, we got a good record there. We're on a good run of form. Villa obviously they've got a new manager, but he's not going to be able to turn it around in the space of a day. And to be fair, they've had a few games without. To be honest with you, they had a few. I think they had a good win the other day. And they were just sick of Gerrard. I think everyone was sick of Gerrard. To be fair.
Yeah.
But Unai's a good manager. He'll get them back into Europe. He'll get them back into probably the conference or even the Europa League. And everyone knows what he does at the Europa League. So, to be honest with you, they got themselves a good manager. We're playing him at a good time because obviously he's just come in. He's not going to be able to make no changes. Like I said, I don't really rate some of the players that they play, the Douglas Luizes and the Mings and
let's not forget Ashley Young, man. Ashley Young is going to make
it.
I like Ashley Young, man. Like, obviously, everyone remembers that meme, the bird shit. Everyone remembers that. But listen, Ashley Young, I have respect for him, but he'll probably play tomorrow. But listen, we have no excuses. If Rashford does start, I'm expecting him to turn up. Obviously, Traps rates him. For me, I've said it. Me and Abdi have said it. For me, it's consistency with Rashford at the end of the day. I've given him credits where it's due, where he scored, where he's been involved. I've given him credits. But as I said, it's consistency for me. That matters for me. But listen, Rashford's doing well.
Out Rashford for no reason though, because he's had a good season, man. He's already passed his last season. I think he's got about 7 this season. Yeah, he's doing all right this season. Like there's no expectation. I just expect him to continue in the way that he's been going this season. Like all this expectation, you were saying get Rashford out the club last season. He's done. Like you don't want him there, and now all of a sudden you've got expectations for Rashford. You shouldn't have an expectation for Rashford. You just expect Rashford to continue in the fashion that he's continuing because you don't even want him in the club.
Listen, last season, everyone was shit. We can.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Rashford for me, he's not my type of player that I want. But listen, Rashford for me, this season.
The type of player that you want. What do you expect from him? You should have an expectation from him then.
Oh, consistency. That's my expectation. It's consistent.
But you don't want him. You don't want him. You don't want him at the club though.
What do you mean?
I mean exactly what I said. You wanted Rashford out of the club.
I mean, it wasn't a Moon's criticism, though. I mean, his standards last season was born, absolutely born. But right now, give him credit.
Everyone's standards last season. You have to remember, right? He went away for a couple of months, had an injury, listening to Solskjaer for years. Yeah, obviously the coaching all in and around him weren't that great. Now he's found himself a coach that's actually paying attention to detail and getting the squad actually conditioned to play Premier League and European football. You're starting to see Rashford improve. I mean, bearing in mind, he scored 100 goals for the club, and he's played 350 appearances or something in total to play for the club. For someone to do that at the age of, he literally just turned 25, like I think it's this week. Yeah, for someone to do that at his age, he's obviously got to be, there obviously is a player in there. Do you know what I mean? And not only that, is that for him to score 100 goals, you lot are just forgetting because he had one bad season. You're forgetting free kicks against Chelsea. You're forgetting Europa League runs and him and goals against Arsenal and all kinds.
Against Arnold and Spliff as well.
Like you can't write. How can you write off someone who was 24 last season off the back of a season where everybody bar Ronaldo was shit. Everyone.
Frederick, what's your thoughts and opinions with Rashford?
To be honest, if we're talking last season, like it had been said, he was shit. This season, I do think he have turned it around, and I've said it in many of my videos that I can say that I want to player out of the club today, and tomorrow I can say that he's my favorite player, because if a player proves me wrong, I would be nothing more happy. And I think it's allowed to change opinion, because players can change, and then you can go from wanting him out of the club to wanting him to start. That's football for me. People can turn things around. People can prove you wrong.
Yeah, I agree, but I just don't understand that. Well, I just don't understand how there can be any criticism for Rashford at this present moment in time, because he has done exceptionally well from the start of the season. He's scoring in big games. He's scoring winners. He's scoring decisive goals. He's improved because obviously Rashford with his head, it's out of nowhere. He started scoring headers and out of nowhere. So he's obviously working on his game, and his game is actually developing. So I just don't understand why anyone says, like you just have to let him continue what he's doing. If he doesn't score or he has a bad game, fair enough. But I expect to win tomorrow anyway. So I'm not gonna say too much about losing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Just go for the comments. Big up to Football Ferrero. Says big up to everyone in the chat. Graham, big up Laz says he says United 2-1. He said Rashford is playing okay. He gets overhyped too much. Says Graham. So this is basically what I'm trying to say. For me, listen, I'm not giving him. I'm not saying that he's shit. Get him out. I'm just saying he's doing well so far, but he has to keep it up. He has to keep it up. Obviously, when he came on against Real Sociedad, I didn't see much from him. But however, he should have started. Let's get right. He should have started against Real Sociedad, but Ten Hag decided to drop him out, and the play got Nacho and Ronaldo as the front two. So for me, Rashford tomorrow, he should be starting, and I think he will start. But then again, it's Ten Hag. He's the manager. He's the one who decides who starts and who not. But Hardy, do you want Rashford to start tomorrow? And what's your overall thoughts?
I hope he does start. I mean, we do need his actual intelligence, his style of play, and also his quality. And at the moment, with Ronaldo, he's been quite hit and miss as well. I admit that. And we do need a proactive front three with Sancho being out, with Anthony being out, and Langlicka, he can definitely do a job as well. But we do need Rashford tomorrow alongside with whoever's fifths. That's so essential. Even with the number 10 position, without Bruno Fernandes. Yeah.
Hardy, you're covering your mic. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. The connection itself is so horrendous, but let me just continue. So, with the 10 position, we do need Bruno. Well, we don't necessarily need Bruno Fernandes as he is suspended, but Donny van der Beek, he needs to actually prove himself. He needs to be consistent, and he needs to build his sharpness. For him, if he can build up his confidence, his sharpness, consistency, we'll know that one game.
Yeah, 100%. It's a question for everyone, actually. Obviously, since Bruno's out now, what do you guys prefer? So there's 3 options. So do you guys prefer Casemiro, Eriksen, Donny as a 10, or Casemiro, Fred, Eriksen, or I don't know, Casemiro, McTominay, or Donny. So what do you guys prefer? Start off with Assad. Which midfield would you go with for tomorrow?
Look, it's a bit of a touching guy because we're saying with McTominay, he's been given a lot of stick in the past, but under Ten Hag, he's been a different player, really. I have to say, but it will be interesting because, like, I'll say Basham, not who I think will start, but what Ten Hag wants. So probably Casemiro, Fred as well. Then we'll see. It's a bit of a touching guy.
Deep, what about you? What midfield would you go for tomorrow?
I think given the fact that Villa are probably going to sit back, stay compact, has to be a second option. I think with Fred, he doesn't really suit the low block. I mean, with Donny van der Beek, he's definitely really, really essential. And with him and Eriksen and Casemiro, that midfield will be full of intensity, progression, aggression, and also if we've got a tempo as well, we need to show the tempo against Villa. If we be really compact and fight pressure and just fight them on counter attack, I think Fred will be much more suitable in that phase. However, that's the second option.
Travis, what about you?
Well, I personally think, what I've been saying from the start, I think tomorrow, you're going to see why Bruno might end up losing his job, because Eriksen in that 10 role, I think even with Ronaldo, even with Ronaldo, where Ronaldo is and how Ronaldo has been playing recently, I believe that with Eriksen in the 10, you will see, what it's like for a proper 10 to be given the feeding and supplying the front three, and you're going to see this tomorrow. And if it goes well, then I think it's gonna look like, Bruno, what you doing, mate? Because like you've been in this 10 role and you're not providing enough assists, you're not providing nothing. I just think I personally would go with I'd probably go with Eriksen, Casemiro, and probably McTominay, to be fair.
Frederick, what do you think?
I do. If it was up to me, I would have played with Fred because I don't think Donny was very good last game. But I do think we will play Donny because I do think I believe in him, and I do think that he thinks that the way to get him good is to play him regularly. So that's what I think.
So you're playing yourself. That's nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have a good game, Donny, tomorrow. Obviously, I expect a better performance.
I'll drop the beer tomorrow, having my last today.
But yeah, now with Donny, guys, what do you guys think of his situation? Because obviously he's been injured a lot this season. I don't know how, probably injured in training. So do you guys expect him to stay the season or leave in January? Because for me, it's 50-50, Donny, man. I expect him to get more game time, obviously, because he's playing under his former coach now with Ajax. But for me, with Donny, he needs to stop starting more games, in my opinion. But what do you sum up with his situation for this season?
I think this season it's now and never for Donny van der Beek. It's about retribution. It's about getting the team ahead of Bruno, even Eriksen when they're in form. And we do need that profile player in the number 10 position. And but Donny van der Beek, his runs into the box, his intelligent link-up play, his IQ is just so impeccable. Exactly what we need in the number 10 position. And if we can actually get the Donny van der Beek pre-lockdown, that's absolutely essential to what we need on the 10 end. It's about confidence for Donny van der Beek. If he can gain his mentality, his drive, his determination, I think he will no doubt be really impactful for the season. But if he doesn't work out, he'll definitely go in the summer, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's just summed up there for me. If he doesn't get game time, I could see him leaving straight away. Donny, man, Donny, yourself, how do you sum up your situation? Are you going to leave in January, Donny? Yeah, Frederick. Yeah, Donny. Do you see yourself leaving in January if you don't get game time under your former coach?
No, I'll stay until the end of the season. I want to try with another striker. I'm not used to play with one main striker, so I need to play with Rashford up front. And
no, Rashford up front. No. Donny, Rashford up front. For me, Rashford is not a striker. I know you're joking there, Frederick, but I understand. For me, United fans have to understand Rashford cannot play as a striker. He's not good enough to play as a striker. For me,
So where's he been playing?
He's been playing on the left wing.
He's been playing on the wing.
He's been always playing on the wing.
He's not played as the number 9 this season.
He did play one game as a striker, and he did nothing.
One game.
Was
He's
it
played
against Arsenal? City?
One game.
Arsenal City, yeah. What did Rashford
One
do,
game.
man, as a striker against City? What did he do?
What do you mean? What did he do as a striker against City?
Did he not start as a striker against City?
So you think, right? You can judge someone on the basis of a game against Man City. Aresh, do you watch football?
Travis, do you watch
the game? Dude, do you seriously?
So what do you prefer, Rashford, as a striker or as a
Listen, Rashford can play anywhere along that front three. Yeah, he's not very particularly good on the right. Yeah, he's probably best on the left, but it doesn't mean he can't play for. He made his name playing striker. Yeah, that's literally made his name playing striker. How can you tell me he can't play striker?
For me, he
he's
can't.
a single player as well. His heading ability.
And I'm not being funny enough in here, but this is coming from this is coming from a guy who backs a guy, right, who thinks it's appropriate to put Maguire on up front. Yeah. So
When did I back him? Who backed Ten Hag for being Maguire's strike?
Listen, Arrest. You know full well. Don't even get me started on you, man. Don't even get me started on you.
All right. So I know what Travis is talking about. So yesterday, Hardy, if you remember, we were talking about Ten Hag playing Maguire's striker. For me, we've said it. He's sent a message. Ten Hag sending a message to the board saying he needs to get a striker in January because for me it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
Cool. So, like I said to you yesterday, yeah, he may as well put Garnacho in goal against Aston Villa to tell the board that Garnacho is a keeper. Yeah, what kind of stupidness is that? Do you think Ten Hag needs to be sending messages to the board by putting Maguire up front? No. That was a disaster class. Yeah, that was a disaster class. He tried to overthink the game, and that was it. That's what he tried to do. He overthought it because you got like on the bench, like you've obviously got Pellistri, you've got Elanga for 1 year.
They're not good enough to come on either way.
What do you mean? How can Elanga is good enough in them kind of situations? If we're going to be honest about it, because if we take it back to the Chelsea game, without Elanga, we don't equalize. If we take it back to the Atletico Madrid game, yeah, in the Champions League last season, Elanga comes on, yeah, as an impact sub, yeah, gets the equaliser. He done it against Leeds as well. He done it against Leeds when he celebrated and told the crowd that he went to the Leeds crowd and told them they was going down last season when he scored. He came on as a sub under Rangnick. So it's quite clear to see that Elanga is not good enough to start 11, to be in starting 11. He's not good enough to have a run of games, in my opinion. But he's definitely an impact player. Yeah, he's an impact sub. So Elanga or Maguire, it doesn't. Even if you think Elanga's not good enough, Elanga or Maguire, it's a no-brainer. Elanga is going to be a better attacker than Maguire. That's a fact. He's faster. Yeah, he's faster. He can carry the ball better. Yeah, he's all about attack. Maguire is a defender that can't even defend, let alone attack.
To be fair, I think what Ten Hag's thinking is, all right, let me put Maguire because maybe he can, when we cross it, he's good with his head. But for me, I think Ten Hag is 50-50, man. Obviously, he should have brought in Elanga. Obviously, we had Pellistri. But Pellistri, man, he's definitely leaving in January because
them subs are bad. Them subs are bad. Listen, I've been criticising Ten Hag for the last month or so about his substitutions. His substitutions are too slow sometimes, and also if they're not too slow, they are bad subs. I mean, we start games with like Eriksen, Casemiro, and Bruno, for instance. Yeah, we'll start a game like that, and then we end the game with Fredemiro. Like, what the hell? Like, you can't start a game, right? With say for instance, you got Bruno as a 10, you got Eriksen pulling the strings and whatnot, Casemiro, and then at the end of it, you've got McTominay and Fred and Casemiro. I don't believe that these three should be on the pitch at the same time, at any time, unless it is going like downhill in a game and where we have to defend out the game for the last 10 minutes or so. That our most creative player, Eriksen, never finishes the game. He never finishes the game. Like, never gets a full 90 minutes, and I don't know why. I think that his subs are not that great, and that's the only criticism that I have of Ten Hag at the minute.
Do you agree with Traps right there? Do you think Ten Hag's too slow with his substitutions?
I think at times, yeah, absolutely. I do definitely agree there as well. I mean that's definitely due to lack of quality within the squad as well. Especially considering the injuries we've had, the fatigue, inconsistencies, and also the congestion period. That's certainly a factor to why he's so unreactionary.
To be fair, I do think with one criticism of mine for tonight, I do think he needs to start rotating a bit more. To be fair, I know he doesn't like rotating that much. He likes to go with a strong squad. I understand that. That's not the issue. But for me, maybe you can rotate, rest the hair on, put in the Bravko. Or for me, listen, right back. I've said it before. We don't have a competitor with the lot. We only have Wan-Bissaka, who I don't think is fully fit yet. I don't know what's happened to Wan-Bissaka this season. But for me, it's clear what signings we need in January or in summer, because I don't think the board will make something in January. But let's say for summer, it's clear what positions we need. We need a right back. I still say we need another centre back, a striker, 100%. For me, the priorities are right back and striker, and then after that we can move on to centre backs. For me, I still think
another midfield as well. We do need another midfield
as well. Now attacker. For me, listen, we still need like another bunch of 5 or 6 players for me, because if you look at the squad depth, mate, it's a shambles, man. It's a shambles. But
I don't think it is a shambles. I just feel like right now there's a lot of injuries and stuff. Like you got Sancho out, you've got Martial out, you've got Anthony out. To be honest with you, other than that, obviously we're a bit short at the back because obviously with Ori, but we never got Aaron Wan-Bissaka's his career's over at Man United. But that's what I'm trying to say. But the thing is, we've got people like Ethan Laird out on loan, and who else did I see? I'm sure there's a clause that we could bring him back in January though.
Yeah, we can. There's a clause.
So for me, I don't think we need to go. I don't think that we need to go for a right back in January, because we could just recall Ethan Laird. It makes sense. But the thing is right is that I just think Man United need to be sitting up and taking notice, because I didn't expect that us to be doing as well as we do. I mean, I've just spoke to a very well, this was yesterday. Between now and yesterday, yeah, I just had a conversation with a very, very famous City fan, yeah, and I think right in January, if we are in a position where we can maybe mount a challenge for the title or whatnot, I think that we should be strengthening in January. And people say, "Oh, January signings don't work." I mean, if you actually look at it now, January signings are now they're now being like, it's not like a turning point for teams. January signings now, because if you look back at team players like Bruno Fernandes, for instance, he came in, transformed the season. You had Bruno Gomares, same thing. Then you've got Luis Diaz coming for Liverpool, and he done the same thing. And there's someone else, I can't remember. Someone else came in January, and but anyways, January signings are now like turning around the fortunes of clubs in a season. So I think if you're not in a position to challenge or whatnot, the board should give him money to maybe get a striker, maybe another midfielder or something. But I think in terms, Darlow's 22 years old, so I mean he should be able to play a couple of games a week from now for the next 6 months, to be honest.
Yeah. Frederick, what about you? What do you think is the priority positions for the next 2 transfer windows?
For the next 2, of course, a striker. We know Ronaldo will leave in January or in the end of the season, so we will replace him. Also, I want to give a shout out to the McNeil. I do hope we'll get to see him. Has done well for the under 21. And then a right back. Clearly, Ten Hag doesn't rate Wan-Bissaka. And for the last, I'm a bit unsure if I want to say a midfielder or a goalkeeper. I do think we have started to see that De Gea might be the keeper Ten Hag wants. So if De Gea keeps improving the sweeper keeper game, I will say a midfielder. If not, if Ten Hag doesn't rate De Gea, of course De Gea will be number 3 for me.
Yeah. Asa, what do you think is the priority positions in your opinion?
I think the number 1 should probably definitely be a striker, because once Ronaldo goes, obviously we can't be papering over the cracks like we've been in the past. And as for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, has really been off the radar this season, and I just think the writing's on the wall for him. Man United is probably going to go as well. We know that Ben Chilwell, he's been ruled out of the World Cup for you guys, so obviously
With an
Luke.
ACL injury. An ACL injury.
Sorry?
Apparently, he's saying an actual ACL injury. I don't know whether that's true or not, but
Yeah, it's
so
true.
Obviously Luke Shaw needs to step up now, get his place back in the squad, which he is anyway. But I think there's a lot to do, and I know there's a bit of contract negotiations going on with Rashford's camp and Dallow's camp, so we have to see how those things play out as well. So I think the real important, as going back to the Ten Hag situation as well, he could definitely reevaluate the slubs much better in the future, because like we've seen in the past, there's been some flaws in it, because like I'm no manager, but that's just my take on it anyway. But transfers, we've seen it, what we've seen with Casemiro, that wasn't a manager driven signing, but I think the summer's real important as compared to January, like we've seen in the past with this team.
I heard a rumor today. Yeah, it wasn't a rumor, but I saw something on Instagram today. And Hardeep's favorite one, the smoke screen. Apparently Frenkie de Jong was a smoke screen for Casemiro, because Fred, it said that he knew that Casemiro was coming a long time before he went up.
Do you agree with that, Travis, or do you disagree with that?
What do you mean?
With this smoke screen bit? Obviously,
I told you listen, my position on De Jong. I've never been interested in De Jong, not once.
I agree with that.
I've not been interested in him at all. Yeah. For me, the Casemiro thing, I can't see them buying Casemiro and De Jong at the same time. It doesn't make sense to me, sort of thing. But I think that because the Casemiro thing came out of nowhere, everyone was like, "Oh, it's a board signing just to get someone over the line." Maybe, you never know. They might have told Fred to say this, to say that he knew that Casemiro was coming a long time beforehand. Which I mean, is it that deep? Nah, I doubt it, because Casemiro is getting played now, and he's a vital part of the team. So whether Ten Hag wanted him or not, he's part of the starting 11 that he needs at the very moment anyway. But to be honest with you, yeah, I just think that I think it's a good signing. But I just don't think that I don't think De Jong was ever in the plans, to be honest. I don't think he was.
I do think it was, but then I think Ten Hag was like, let's just move on to another target. But I think it's going to be important, interesting to see what happens.
That contradicts what Fred says. Fred said that he knew that Casemiro was coming to Manchester United for a long time.
Yeah, but we only heard about Casemiro when we were actually buying him. That's the problem. That's the issue. That's the issue, really. But
but he's saying he knew about it before it was announced, or it was an interest was shown. It was basically what he's saying that basically it was a done deal before it got announced and whatnot. So I don't know. But to be honest with you,
let me get some quotes. I'll get some quotes here. Quotes. But yeah, let me try and get quotes. But yeah, man. Listen, Casemiro, that's not like he's been a solid.
When the Casemiro came on, I didn't believe it at all. I didn't think. I thought to myself, what the state of this club right now? What the hell was Casemiro thinking about coming here? Then when he came, everyone was talking about, oh, he's 30, he's 270 mil too much for him. Then it was like, oh, he's too old anyway. Oh, you're getting a Finnish player, and he has been immense in this league, yeah, to the point, yeah, where certain managers and that are taking notice. We're not going to name names though, but yeah, I mean, he's I didn't believe it. I'm not going to lie to you, but to be honest with you, when he was announced, like he was announced that he's a done deal and he was sitting there leaving Madrid, I was like, we have got some player here, man. We've got a player on our hands, man.
Trying to find the quotes. Hang on, let me see if there's
so even if it was a board signing, it was a good board signing, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Hang on a minute. I think I found it. I'm not sure.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for Fred quotes. Hang on. Give me a sec. I think it's on this fan page. But yeah.
I did find it here. I'll put it in the chats.
That's fine. Hang on. MUS. But yeah, for me, talk about signings, yeah, guys. Lisandro Martinez. Oh my days, mate. I've heard people complain about his heights, saying that he's too short for the Premier League. This is the rival fans mainly, but listen, these rival fans are in the mud, man. They're literally in the mud. If you're getting people like Van Dijk praising him, then that tells you. But
The thing is with Martinez, because you tried to play. Remember, you tried to play some quote with me saying that the game he will get bullied by players that are taller than him. Players like Haaland, Ivan Toney. These men will if they get chances or balls come into the box, they will bully this guy. Yeah, because obviously because of his height difference and whatnot. Maybe on the ground. Don't get no. I mean, to be fair, like his heading isn't that bad for someone who is he's not flipping 5'5". Do you know what I mean? He's tall enough to sort of be a defender. Do you know what I mean? But I just think that against certain teams he will struggle against certain players anyway.
Yeah. Right. I found the quote and then let me just share my screen. Yeah. Share screen. Chrome. This one. Cool. So, hang on, let me make it bigger for you guys. Full screen. Cool. Let me make it cool. Make you guys can see. All right. So, according to Fred, Casemiro is having a big impact on and off the pitch at United. He also claims to have known about the transfer months before it was announced in the summer. The United midfielder told TNT Sports, "Everyone knows he is one of the best players who has won a lot at Real Madrid in recent years, so he's a very experienced guy. On the pitch, he's a great guy, and off the pitch, he has a huge amount of experience. So he's a guy who adds a lot both on and off the pitch. He adds a lot in the locker room, and it's a pleasure to be able to play alongside him, these great players here at United." So, yeah, he did know it. He did know it about the transfer. He did know. So, I'm not surprised because I saw somebody saying that Casemiro just he spoke to Willian saying that he feels great playing the Premier League. So it's nice that Casemiro's enjoying himself. Lisandro Martinez, man. Let's talk about him. Frederick, man.
Hey, but are you not still hoping for De Jong, no?
Who's open for De Jong?
Are you not still hoping for De Jong in January, no?
No, I want Ivan Toney now. I've changed my position. I want Ivan Toney. Frederick, your thoughts on Lisandro Martinez? I mean, a lot of people question his heights, saying can he handle his height? But what do you think of him so far?
Yeah, it was exact to say the same thing, that he have proven everyone wrong. He have proven himself as, in my opinion, he has been the best defender in the league.
Even what? Sorry.
Martinez is the best defender in the league.
No. What did you say, Arrest? You said I did what?
No, he said even proven
everyone wrong, because.
How did he prove me wrong?
Have you said that Martinez was not good?
Yeah, you said on your TikTok.
I said. What I said was that I forgot what I said, but basically I said this is what I said. I said Lisandro Martinez, the butcher. The only thing he butchered today was his United career, because he had the two. He got terrorized by Mbeumo and Ivan Toney, yeah, for the whole flipping game, yeah.
Maguire tax.
For the whole game, it wasn't Maguire tax, yeah. And basically, I said, with coming up against these two, I would say if I was his height, obviously he's not going to say that, but as the manager, should be looking at it and saying, you know what, these two are too big for him. Like, they're too big for him. They will bully him. And even so, he should have been. I don't know. Like, it was still early days, but I just feel like that game. Do you know what? I give Ten Hag that 4-0, right? I gave it to him. I said to him, you can have that 4-0 because what you done after that 4-0 is basically give people the rope to hang themselves with. So everyone else, I mean, Maguire doesn't really feature anymore. Like, I mean, if we got a defender say for instance, if we got Varane's out, we know Lindelof's playing, we know the pecking order now. So the only way Maguire gets games is if there's literally no defender left. Literally. So for me, that game, that 4-0, I give him the benefit of the doubt. But at that time, Lisandro Martinez did have a bad game, a very, very bad game.
Yeah, I can agree on that. But that was not a response to you. That was more for general. We have had so many pundits saying that Martinez, he won't be good enough. It was, I won't mention his name, but a former defender of our biggest rival in the league was saying that he will never be good enough. I think Martinez has shown that you don't know what you're talking about. So, of course, you will have bad games. Everyone will. Wayne Rooney have had bad games at United. Ryan Giggs had. Everyone will.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen Ronaldo have some terrible games for United. Terrible, shocking games. I'm not talking about this time around either. I'm talking about the first time.
Yeah. Training pictures have been released by Manchester United, and they're just showing Rashford doing shooting drills for the Villa match. I mean, listen, he should be playing tomorrow. They should be releasing some more training pictures. But yeah, man, I still need to injury updates about the front three, the usual front three: Sancho, Martial, and Anthony. But for me, we miss Anthony a lot, man. I don't know what people think about, but we miss him a lot because on the right hand side, who do we really have on the right hand side? Because Sancho is off, injured. Anthony obviously injured, so we don't have really no one to play on the right hand side. So for me, with Anthony is a huge miss. So hopefully he is fit. But yeah, man, we'll give our lineup and our score predictions. So Hardy, I'll start with you first. What would your lineup be for tomorrow's game? You're on mute, Hardy. You're on mute.
So I'd say De Gea, Delo, Lindelof, Martinez. I'd say Shaw as well. Midfield's gonna be interesting. I'd say Casemiro, Van der Beek, Eriksen. Front three. If they are fit, I'd say Rashford, Ronaldo, and Anthony.
Ronaldo instead of Martial, Hardy.
Yeah. I still say Ronaldo because we do that target man in box as well. You need target man in boxes because Villa are going to sit back effectively. We do that target man.
Yeah, I get you, Hardy, but when are you going to give up on Ronaldo, Hardy? That's the main question. When how many games?
I'm not actually going to give up yet, but he needs to actually reiterate this. He needs to say that it is over until it's over. But you can't rule that, yeah.
Fair enough. Frederick, what will your lineup be for tomorrow?
Of course, De Gea in goal, Dalot on the right back, Luke Shaw on the left. I would actually have picked Maguire beside Martinez, but that's mostly because I don't rate Lindelof. I don't think he's good at anything. At least Maguire is good in the air, but that's another discussion. In midfield, I would have said earlier, gone with Fred and Casemiro. And up front, then I would put Eriksen as number 10. I would have gone with Garnacho, Elanga, and Rashford.
I mean, that's interesting. That is interesting. For me, I'm going to try and I'm checking literally every 2 minutes of the injury updates. So
of course, if Anthony is back, I would have picked him instead of Elanga.
Yeah, that's what happens. Like, just attack the depth isn't really there in my opinion. But I'm going to try again. But that's what about you? What will your lineup be for tomorrow?
Oh, go with De Gea, obviously. I'm not going with Maguire. Maguire is not going anywhere in my team. So it'd be Lindelof and Martinez, Luke Shaw, because Malacia is not good enough. Why are you shaking your head, Hardy? He's not. Like, he's not. You know why he's not good enough? Yeah, shall I tell you why he's not good enough? Anyways, I'll tell you afterwards. But yeah, I'd go with Luke Shaw, obviously Darlow. Midfield, Van der Beek was dreadful the other day. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd go with Casemiro. I'd go with. I'll probably start with McTominay, and I don't know the rest. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
McTominay, wait, is it on Fred?
Yeah, I'd probably start with McTominay. Yeah.
Okay.
So what was funny?
I'm just saying, man. He hasn't been good enough.
What was funny?
He hasn't been good enough, man.
Because I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny enough.
He hasn't been good enough, man. He hasn't been good enough. It's simple as that.
He hasn't been good enough.
He came on against Real Sociedad. Let's not forget. He came on, didn't do anything. Remember what he did against Chelsea? Gave away a penalty. Gave away a penalty on purpose, man. That was on purpose. That was a stupid.
So what was he supposed to do against Real Sociedad? What that he did?
Have an impact. Have an impact.
He's not an impact sub. When he came, and furthermore, when he came on, when all the players that he was on the pitch and they was doing what they was doing, and he scored and he got the late winner the other day, he wasn't good enough then, was he? Bruv, listen, you stop your agenda against these United players because, like everybody agrees, yeah, that Scott McTominay should not be starting lineup, but he has a part to play in the squad. He came in, all right, cool. He gave away a silly penalty the other day. It was a soft penalty, but nevertheless, he got away with it, to be honest with you, because United simply weren't good enough. They should have put away their chances in the first half. Then they wouldn't have had that problem. And another thing is, Ten Hag making substitutions, because realistically, yeah, McTominay was not needed on the pitch at that time. Again, yeah, he wasn't needed. So make it make sense. You want to sit there and laugh, but it's your manager who you back so highly that was putting him on the pitch in the first place when he didn't need to, realistically. So, I mean, I don't know what like. It's all well and good people laughing at players and saying this and the other, but make it make sense because, like, McTominay's come on and he's won 3 points for the club. So this season, so he obviously proves that he can play a part in the team. Right or wrong?
Oh, he's a cheeky guy, man.
What?
Anyways, listen, Traps, you know my thoughts on McTominay.
But you have got no evidence to back it up. You're just talking.
I just told you, Chelsea gave away a stupid penalty.
All right, cool.
When he came on, there no impact at all. He gives away
no impact.
He gives away silly fouls, Traps. He gives away silly fouls.
No impact, right? So you expect, yeah? So you think it's okay for Eric Ten Hag to sub on Maguire, play him up front, and you're looking at Scott McTominay for impact.
What's wrong with Maguire playing up front?
You're looking at Scott McTominay for impact, bro. I will leave this right now if you're going to tell me that Scott McTominay is supposed to have an impact when Harry Maguire is playing up front. Please tell me. Do you understand them subs? Do you actually understand them? Explain it, because if you can, please. I'm still confused now.
Hardy, you're not explaining, because for me, listen, Maguire up front, maybe Ten Hag was thinking, okay, maybe Bruno Eriksson crossed the ball in to either Ronaldo and Maguire.
You said at the start of the stream that it was. What? You said at the start of the stream it was a message to the board. Make it make sense.
It was a message to the board, and also you have to look at Ten Hag's perspective. Maybe he was bringing on Maguire's striker to maybe think about Eriksson or someone like Bruno Fernandes to try and cross in the ball, and maybe Ronaldo or Maguire can win it. Both of them are
How many crosses? How many crosses did you see?
No
crosses. This is quite a few. This goes back to Louis van Gaal era. Remember, Louis van Gaal used to bring on Fellaini every time when it was either 0-0, 1-1 to try and.
Don't compare Harry Maguire to Fellaini because Fellaini won a European Cup, mate, and a European Cup.
No, that's Paul Pogba, mate. Paul Pogba won it in his current.
Oh, Paul Pogba won it on his own.
Paul Pogba won the Europa League. Scored the first goal, but anyways,
on his own.
You got your agenda, it's fine. Hardeep.
You're talking about Fellaini though. It's not an agenda. I don't have an agenda. Not an agenda. I don't have an agenda with anybody. It's a team. I want this team. This team is playing very well at the minute. Yeah, the subs are not good. Yeah, that's the only problem that I have with.
You just said Molasses shit. So
I never said. I said Molasses is not good enough. He needs to step his game up. He does. If he steps his game up,
he needs to get his chances. That's the thing. Once he got his chances.
So what chances do you want to give somebody when Luke Shaw is playing? Luke Shaw in our last game was outstanding. Right or wrong?
Which one? Ross is that?
Sorry, not Ross said that. Our last game in the league.
So that was West Ham. Yeah, he was.
Luke Shaw was outstanding. So you explain to me how the next Premier League game, Malacia should start over.
What I'm saying is, whenever Luke Shaw plays, when he has one bad game, Malacia should get in and then raise his game. That's how Eric Ten Hag. That's how it works, man. With Eric Ten Hag, when you play shit, you get some.
That's not how it works. Luke Shaw is playing well, and Luke Shaw starts. Simple. Because this team needs to be the best team it can be. And Malacia, unfortunately, does not start over Luke Shaw. So if you got a problem, yeah, you know what you need to do? Instead of criticizing players, go and email Manchester United and talk to Ten Hag about it. Because he's the one that's picking this team.
I just said it's Ten Hag's team who decides, but I'm saying whenever Luke Shaw has one bad game, he should be dropped. Malacia should come in and raise the game. So for me, that's how it's been this season with Eric Ten Hag. When you
How
play shit, you get dropped. Same thing
So
with
how many games?
Maguire,
so how-
Ronaldo.
So how
Go
many
on.
games? How many games? Yeah, how many bad games you see Malacia have this season?
Bad games. Obviously, he was terrible against City. I mean, he had a few bad games. A few.
All right, cool. So does he deserve to be dropped then?
Huh?
Does he deserve to be dropped then?
Of course, but listen,
All
what
right,
I'm
cool.
trying to say.
So Luke Shaw,
I'm
how many
trying to
bad games?
say,
How many
when
bad
Luke
games have you
Shaw-
seen Luke Shaw have?
God.
How many bad games have you seen Luke Shaw have?
Yeah, he had quite a few during the season, during the start of the season. If you look at Brentford, even against Brighton as well.
All right, cool. So he's been dropped, and now since he's come back, yeah. How many bad games have you seen him have, Hardeep?
Well, I say more than four. More than four on top of
What since he got dropped?
For 8 years, he's been inconsistent though. I mean, he
Oh
needs
my
to go
god,
now.
I'm done. You know, I'm actually done. I'm gonna leave. You lot have a good evening because I can't take this anymore.
Oh, he's actually got. But yeah, obviously, he's joking around there. But listen, we're gonna wrap up anyways. But we're still gonna wrap up. But score prediction, guys. I'm gonna go with 2-0 United. Hopefully, a clean sheet again. Ardy, what do you think?
Same with you as well. I'd say 2-0 win for United. If we can keep a clean sheet, that's a bonus. That's
We've
absolutely
kept 5 clean sheets so far. So
Is it six clean sheets in the last 7 games?
6? Yep. Oh yeah, sorry,
Unbelievable.
6. And Casemiro, whenever he started, we've only conceded 1 from open play. So listen, he's been a cement, as Tana calls him, a cement, mate. He's been a cement. Frederick, your score prediction for tomorrow?
I think 2-1. Of course, we're missing Varane. We're also missing Bruno, which for me, I think will move Eriksen up, so we'll have another miss at the midfield. And combined with Villa got a new coach, I do think the players want to show them worthy their place in the team, so I do think they will get a goal.
100%. Hopefully, listen, guys, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow because let's say if Arsenal drop points or Chelsea drop points, we need to grab those 3 points, man, because we can't slip up. But hopefully, for Arsenal and Chelsea, I don't know who I want to win. Maybe a draw is best, but I have no idea. But if Chelsea win or Arsenal win, we just need to get the 3 points out of the way. But also Tottenham Liverpool, guys, let's not forget about that. Tottenham can win that game, but we just need 3 points. Hopefully Ten Hag picks a good lineup. I would say a good enough lineup to beat Aston Villa, which he should. But yeah, man. Cool. Just look at any updates and then we can wrap up. But yeah, last topic, obviously for striker to replace Ronaldo. Who would you guys want to replace Ronaldo in the long term? So we'll start off with Hardeep. Who do you want, Hardeep?
For me, I'd say Vlahovic. I think Vlahovic would be a really good option. Although I could say João Felix. I think João Felix in the false 9 position, he could do effectively well on 10 hands. I'll keep an eye on João Felix as well, considering the fact that he's actually transfer listed in January. Definitely moves to look out for. Even Tony as well.
Yeah. Further, are you gonna back any of your Norwegian boys? Maybe Alexander Soloff, the next Haaland, maybe.
I'll go Arnautovic. Follow the bird. Give all the trust to the Glazers. Go Arnautovic. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
To
What
be
do you think
honest,
about Alexander Soloff, by the way? Because obviously,
not good enough for
26.
us. Not good enough for us.
Not better than
As easy as
Haaland.
that.
yeah, no, but
He's a decent player, but it's not Premier League.
yeah,
Might be a Brighton player, something like that.
yeah,
But
100%.
for me, I would have said give Ten Hag who he wants, and I will back it.
Yeah.
Give the last word to Ten Hag. He knows it better than me. That's who will fit in the kind of football he wants to play. So
It's up to the board.
if it's Gakpo, it's Gakpo. If it's Vlahovic, it's Vlahovic. And if there's someone else, there's someone else.
Yeah, 100%. But listen, it's up to the board, not me. I can't say Man United get this and that. It's up to the board. It's up to John Myrtle, who's surprisingly been getting praise today from the sources I've been reading. But listen, John Myrtle I'm still 50-50 on him, man. I'm not.
Still
I'm
is
not-
skeptical of him. So
Yeah, I'm skeptical of this guy, but listen, we will see. January, we need to do business, man. You know, if I don't understand that, it's important in January that we start doing business. But yeah, man, we have come to the end of the stream. Let me just check any stats. Also, big up Casemiro because I did see something saying that he watched Man United's 4-0 loss against Brentford from his home in Madrid, and his response was to call John Merton, not to tell him that he was having doubts about leaving Madrid, but to give assurances that he couldn't wait to get started at Man United.
Elite mentality.
That is what you call a warrior. A warrior. But listen, with Casemiro, I'm 100% backing that guy. Since he started, man, we've been solid, man, but hopefully it continues. Long may it continue, but yeah. Let's get people to shout their socials right now. So, Hardy, where can people find you?
Well, guys, you know where to find me. I'm actually via Instagram, HDM United Stand. If you want to follow me personally, it's HS7.
Big up, Hardy. Frederick, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Red Frederick on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
Big up. And obviously, you guys know where to find us. Or it's from on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe. Do smash the likes. Do the good stuff. Follow us on Instagram as well, or Football. Make sure you guys follow us on TikTok as well, or Football, where there will be more posts coming in. Don't worry, guys. There will be more posts. Twitter, we will create Twitter soon. I always say that, but we will trust me, guys. This week, definitely, we will create a Twitter account for the page. I've seen a lot of comments. A lot of comments regarding when are you going to create Twitter? When are you going to create Twitter? So we are going to create one soon.
Big thing, sorry to comment. I mean, if we continue this consistency, there's no doubt we'll create a great platform for you guys. So thank you to the community.
100%. Actually, in fact, I will create a Twitter page after this. So mark my words, guys. I will create a Twitter page after this stream. But yeah, guys, big up. We might do an Aston Chelsea preview later on, so make sure you guys do tune in for that. Who knows? It's not 100% confirmed yet because I'm still waiting for more people's confirmation about that. So just keep an eye out for today. Keep an eye out for tomorrow because we will do a lot of match reviews tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. And guys, hopefully we get the 3 points tomorrow at Villa Park. So guys, good evening. Ronaldo's finished.